All right, why does it seem like the Cream song Born Under the Bad Sign should be playing in my subconscious every time I think about the Dolphins? We were set to have a very, not easy game, but a game that really should put the odds in our favor. And it appears another practice injury has happened. I don't remember this many practice injuries ever in my, I'm not saying it hasn't, but my memory is the Dolphins. First, it was Zach Seal with the broken orbital bone in some kind of drill, whatever. No, we can't find out what happened, really. Very enigmatic.
Look at those gorgeous sons of bitches. Oh yeah, that's right, Madlam.
And we dropped the game because he wasn't in. We probably would have won it. Or maybe had a better chance. And then a short time later, 2 weeks later, I guess, 3 weeks, whatever, Jackson gets a knee injury in practice and he's done for the season.
You got this. Left. You'd have to be insane to take off in this. No, save left, you idiot.
We happened to win last week without him. But I think that really does diminish us a little bit, despite my not liking him so much. And now, as I'm preparing for this funny little thing over here, Jalen Ramsey's had a knee thing.
Vanisher. Maybe the wind can't blow it. Let's see. Really?
McDaniel's quote I'll read to you. It's kind of bizarre. And we don't know his status. And a 30-year-old guy, or 31, whatever he is, with a knee injury, who's had knee injuries in the past, this is not good. I don't know if he's going to be here. He's not on Sunday. They're going to be, they're going to play hide and seek with what the reality is to get, competitive advantage. But it's not good because no rest time going forward. And, if this thing he misses this week, then it is a real deal. And it could be a big problem in a critical portion.
Where did the rest of the team land?
Good news and bad news. Bad news is the whole team is dead. The good news is I don't think anyone's going to miss Shatterstar.
So this is what we got from McDaniel. I'll read it here. It's some people complain about McDaniel and the way he talks and how he delivers information. This will grind on you like an axe grinder. You can see brain sparks flying out of my ears as I read this. Anyway, something that came up during practice. It just came up. McDaniel said, "We'll see how it plays out today. Either way, I don't rule out words like he is an internal part of our team." I don't know if that's a bad translation because it's internal. I don't know. I know that he'll do what he's able to do today. We'll be optimistic for the game, knowing that if he doesn't play, it's because he can't. So I kind of get the idea what he's saying, but we'll be optimistic for the game, knowing that if he doesn't play, it's because he can't. What do you so you're trying to say that other players, that they might be jaking it. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so we'll find out. I did this before, the final reveal of what the injury is, but it's not going to be a final reveal. They're probably going to hide it and whatever. But this should have been a game that we really have great leverage to win. I still think we're going to win if Ramsey doesn't play. But it's kind of compounded and sticky because Fuller's not playing. And now maybe Ramsey isn't playing. And it's a short week and there's a lot of guys dinged up. And this team might be playing hard or might not. I'll get into that in a second. But this compounds a lot of... I really don't... It's crazy. It's crazy. Basically, we're facing a defense that's, 14th in yards per game, which is not terrible, 325. Their pass yards per game on defense is 11, so they can kind of sort of stop the pass a little bit and kind of limit the yards. But their run defense is 22nd, which is not hot to trot. So the defense overall is not a bad defense. It's not a terrible defense. Their offense is terrible. And so... if we had Fuller and Ramsey, a really good chance for us to kind of dominate them, although there's some things that I'll get into. The yards per game is 29th, 280. Run yards per game is 32nd, 76. Pass yards per game is 11th, 211. And so without Ramsey, maybe, and without Fuller, it's going to kind of give this team a little bit of life in their strongest part, and it could make it a little more competitive than it should be. Bad luck. And then points 25th, 18.7. So their points on defense is 27.9 they're giving up, and they're only scoring 18.7. So we should be able to win, but not having Ramsey that means more Cam Smith. So I'm going to get into the matchups, but this is like, you ever see, I'm on the whole movie thing now. You ever see the old Inspector Clouseau, the Pink Panther? And there was the chief, the French chief, and like Inspector Clouseau was just driving him so insane. He eventually wanted to kill him, but like towards the end, he started getting the eyes twitch thing, because like Clouseau was just driving him totally insane. And in some ways, I feel that what's going on with the Dolphins. This is crazy. We got some real bad luck. It's mind blowing. So now, if you look at the team, we're sloppier, 21st in the league, 6.9 penalties. They're ranked 11th at 6. So it's not really that far. It's only one penalty difference. But we've got to play a cleaner game, especially if Ramsey's not going to be in there. Turnover margin, they're minus 1.6. They make mistakes more than us. We're not hot to trot. We're at minus 0.03 with 21st. I think they're like last or 31st or something like that. So the table's set for us to be home on a short week. They're on their bye week. They're bringing in a new OC, Scott Turner. It makes it a little more difficult for Weaver to kind of peg what's going on here. And again, Ramsey's your guy, and Fuller's a top talent. You pull these guys out, and it does make it a little bit stickier. Nice note right in there. Eichenberg family, they're playing, and Tommy's the linebacker, and then, Liam's our guard. I'm not really high on Liam, but it's a nice moment. Be happy for that. So the downside, though, for the Raiders, you got the bye week. You got the unknown with Scott Turner coming in there. He's talking about their offensive line. He's got a decent amount of talent. Powers is going to be playing center. We all talked about drafting him. So that's the positive. But Pierce, their HC, has been on a bit of a hot seat. And so we don't know if the team will come out and playing hot for him or kind of rolling over to die. Leading into this week, there was a lot of turmoil about Pierce not being optimizing his schedule enough and wasting time. That's not good. It's so funny how players turn. Last year, he was hot to trot. Happy to have him take over. This year, they want to get rid of him. And it goes to show you with McDaniel, this thing could turn that way too. I think a little bit longer because he's got a little bit more credibility and stuff with the players and everything. But this thing can flip very quick. So you have a not so good offense. It could be better with this pass, with the Scott Turner taking over, and maybe in a production in the run game, because they got Matheson, they've got Miller, he's a little bit of bum knee, Meredith, Powers. They've got a decent enough line. They got Bowers and Myers, who looks like going to play two really good tight ends. Myers is not really good, but he's a talent, and Bowers is really good. So it will be interesting to see how this thing plays out. But you really want to shut this offense down. You don't want to allow them the opportunity. And it looks like, if Ramsey's not in, and then you got to worry, if you bring Ramsey in with a bad knee and this team's starting to run and try to be physical, does he get hurt even worse? It's a really sticky situation for us, and the door's kind of been opened a little bit. Now, the Raiders, Hobbs, their nickelback, he's not going to play. Already been listed as doubtful. It's a big move for us. It's going to push the meter more towards Tua and this offense doing what it needs to, because his defense could be very nicked up. And if you look, White, Cody Whitehair, the left guard, he's not that good. He might not play. James, the center, he might not play. Miller, the left tackle. They got some injuries on his offensive line, so it could open a door for us as well. Miller, Colton Miller, he's got a little bit of an ankle thing. He's been limited. He'll play, but how long will that last? Mayer looks like he's going to play. And then for us, Campbell, Tehran, days off. Fuller doesn't look like he's going to play. Hill's limited on that wrist. Win 2 limited games. Is he going to play this quick out of the box? I don't know. It'll be interesting. And then you got the injury thing with Ramsey. And so this is a must win. Even if Ramsey's down, Mike McDaniel is the head coach and the OC. He should drive this team to victory. Because if you look, and you can see this graphic here, their defense, and you watch them play, and you take Hobbs out of here, their linebackers do not tie the secondary and the offensive line together. There's a lot of pockets. You watch, there's a lot of holes in that alley gap that we like to hit with the pocket posts. They're not really good in coverage. And so we should be able to pass on this team. There's no reason. They're not really what you saw last year with them. They just don't seem to be as physically inclined. They're not terrible. Now, their front, I mean, Cody, my man Cody, wants to know what's going on with them. They got Jenkins inside, Wilson. Butler's not bad. Jenkins is 35. I don't know how many reps. He's huge. I think he can apply that power. Now, if you bring in Wynn and Jones doesn't play, then you got Wynn, Brewer, and Eichenberg, who's susceptible to power. They're good on the move action, and they're good in the pass block. I think they're better, the three of them, than if you add Jones in the pass blocking. And clearly this defense suffers a little bit in the pass game, although it's not expressed so much in their pass yards per game. But I just saw a lot of opportunities for a guy like Tua. If you watch Burrow, he put 41 on, got the ball out quick into the pockets. And I think that Tua can do that. So some of their weaknesses haven't been exposed in the pass defense, though I think we can, and we're going to have to. But Crosby is there. The guy is like, I think, the fifth quickest to, I forgot, 99 tackles for loss or something crazy. And he's going to be going against Lamb and with Eichenberg there. And so that is going to be, now, if you look, their rush yards per game is 22nd, so we should be able to try to rush on them. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that inside action. They do some interesting stuff on their defense, so they'll crack down counter to what the play is going and just stymie the line when you're running outside zone. A lot of teams don't do that. They ride with the play. And so they come down and crack, and that kind of opens things up. It does help a little bit sometimes in the cutback, but we're going to have to kind of have some balance. And so I don't know who's going to be better for us, a rusty Win or maybe a banged up Jones. Either way, it's better than Cotton. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. But we should be able to drive our offense in the pass game. If we don't do it here, I don't know when we're going to do it. It's true, we're a little bit banged up, but still, you go look and you see how Mahomes and Burrow took advantage of it. They're just very slow. Spillane and DeBelow, they're not really good at dropping and tying with the safeties, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities. I don't see how we can't, but I guess it could. But it's going to be a little bit more imperative now if Ramsey and Full is not in there. Kohu's dinged up. You're going to have Cam Smith. Who are you getting out there if you cannot lose Ramsey? Because Minshew does look like he's pretty decent. He's been playing pretty decently at times. And then you got Myers, Mayer, and Bowers, and that could be a little bit of problem. I do think Brooks matches up pretty good on Bowers, but Bowers is tough. And then if you're going to bring that offensive line out, and they're playing pretty good, and you got Myers and Bowers and then Meyer outside, like a 2 wide receiver, 2 tight end set, it could force that other linebacker to have to deal with either Myers or Bowers, and it could be a little bit of a problem. But then if your boundary corners, they're not there, then they got to go. I mean, is Kohu going to work on Myers? I don't know. This is going to be very interesting if he's not. We got to find out if he's in or not. I don't know, man. This is crazy. You just want something simple. There's got to be something wrong here. I mean, obviously, you collect guys that have injuries. You collect older guys. You'd expect this. Something's got to be going weird that you have these kind of injuries. 3, I mean, critical players for your unit go down. 2 certainly for, some period of time. We'll see what happens, Ramsey, but this is not good. Look, this is not good. So we got to win this game. I think we should be able to. Powers Johnson is going to be inside. It's going to be interesting to see. He moves guys. If they get that run game going and you don't have Ramsey and you don't have Fuller, this could be a team that puts points on it and makes it a little bit sticky and difficult. Again, we should win this game. But if we lose this game, That's fireable offense. There's no way, with all the stuff, even Ramsey down, short week, you have to win this game. There's no way that this regime can stay afloat and be expected to be believed in if you lose this game. The season's on the line. Dolphins clearly should win this one. They've got a little bit of more problems now. The Raiders are a little scrappy, but there's no way you lose this game. You got Tua, your offensive unit is mostly healthy except for one guy on the O-line. Everyone's got one guy on the O-line practically down, except if you're Bills. So you've got to make this happen, and it's got to be driven through the offense. And some people will say, well, the defense, last week they put up because the offensive line was bad. This week, this offensive line could be pretty decent. And when you're missing those two corners, it's going to be up to this offense with all the money. I think we've got like 120 million on offense and like 80 something million. And that's 85 million. And then minus 24 million on Chubb. So you only got about 60 million, 65 million invested on this defense. And way over 100 million on this offense. You've got your quarterback in. You've got your stellar receivers and running backs. You got John, the tight end. There's no way to lose. This is make or break. You win this week, and it's a push. You lose, finito. Don't want to hear anything. I think we still win no matter what. We've got to. But it is now stickier depending on what happens with Ramsey. Crazy stuff, guys. Curtis saying, be well. Don't get more injuries, Fins. Go, Fins. Curtis out. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.